Alright, let's talk about that game that looks like it crawled out of an oil painting and decided to emotionally ruin you. That is Clair Obscur Expedition 33. If you haven't heard about it yet, don't worry, most people haven't. And that is exactly why you should be paying attention. Because this might be one of the most visually striking, conceptually unique games on the horizon. So in today's video, I was thinking that we're gonna do a deep dive on everything about Expedition 33. First of all, let's just look at the environment for a second here. While most previews focus on combat and visuals, I think it's worth highlighting the game's level design and exploration elements. From what we've seen and from what I've played, Expedition 33 isn't just a hallway of battles, it encourages exploration, hidden interactions, and environmental storytelling. Locations feel layered with vertical spaces, hidden alleys, and shifting perspectives. It's not quite open world, but the game creates the illusion of a living, breathing world through smart design. There are interactable objects, hidden paths, and lore items scattered around the environments. Simply put, this is a game that rewards players who pay attention. Another strong impression that I got is that the environments themselves feel narratively charged. You'll enter places that feel like they've been frozen in time, or decayed in some metaphorical sense. Cities are slanted like they're slipping off canvas. Town squares are cracked like dried paint. The entire world feels like it's being erased in real time, which reinforces the central theme of existential dread. So if you're someone who loves to explore slowly, poke around in corners, and piece together a story from the background details, Expedition 33 might be your next obsession. So she obviously painted this seemingly good creature, and he did not kill these people, so that was something else. Now, what about the premise? Well, Expedition 33 is set in a surreal, beautifully painted version of France, where reality is basically held together by strings of dread. So the core concept is this, right? Every year, a mysterious entity only known as the Paintress awakens and erases everyone at a certain age. One year she chooses 70, the next year she chooses 69, the next, well, you get the idea. Once she picks a number, everyone of that age just goes poof, disappears. No warning, no mercy. And now you play as the members of the 33rd Expedition, a group of survivors who realize that 33 is the next age that the Paintress is gonna erase. And conveniently, the age of your companions seem to be 33. Now, instead of sitting around and just getting Thanos snapped, your expedition is going to fight back, like every other expedition before them, who have unfortunately failed in their mission. And what is that mission? Well, kill the Paintress. Easy, right? Break the cycle. Try not to get emotionally shattered along the way. It is really a simple premise with enormous weight. The idea that aging itself could be a death sentence. And this is something that is completely out of your control. It just hits such a primal level of being a human. You're not just fighting literal monsters in Expedition 33. You're fighting against the very idea that your life is on a timer you can't control. We also got to talk about the art style and the aesthetic of the game, because this ties together with the overall structure of the narrative. And the art style is probably, most definitely, the first thing you noticed, even before knowing what the game was about. Expedition 33 is visually absurd. It looks like a playable concept art book. The environments are painterly and surreal, mixing 19th century French romanticism with moody, dreamlike color palettes. It's a little bit of Dishonored and a little bit of Bloodborne and a whole lot of its own thing. Characters move like brushstrokes, combat animations explode with flair, and everything looks like it was art directed by a very sad but very talented artist going through an existential crisis. And that's a compliment. Enemy design is especially striking. Some look like broken statues come to life, others like creatures from a forgotten fairy tale reimagined by Guillermo del Toro. The Paintress herself is mysterious and terrifying in equal measure, an abstract deity that doesn't feel like she even registers your existence. It's also difficult to overstate just how gorgeous this game looks in action. Every frame of combat, every camera sweep, every lighting shift, it's all drenched in atmosphere. It's rare to see a game commit this hard to a distinct artistic direction and actually pull it off, but Expedition 33 does. Alright, now let's talk about the combat. Now you might have seen this already, but Expedition 33 is a turn-based RPG, but calling it that almost undersells what it really is. From the moment you step into battle, there's a weight and impact to everything that makes each encounter feel more intense than you'd expect. The game mixes classic turn-based structure with a layer of reactive timing-based gameplay. You can dodge, parry, and block in real time. And here's the thing, parrying? It's not easy. From my experience, the timing is really tight. Enemies telegraph their attacks, but the window to respond is really narrow. It forces you to stay engaged, read animations, and actually learn the fight. It's more than just pressing a button, it's about rhythm, reflex, and recognizing patterns. Every enemy type teaches you something new, some are slow but unpredictable, others are fast and relentless. Even basic enemy encounters can feel like puzzles where one wrong move or mistimed block can throw your entire strategy into chaos. Each character also brings something different to the table. Some are better at range support, others specialize in dodging or applying debuffs. Certain enemies seem tailor-made to punish specific roles, which forces you to adjust your party setup on the fly. In other words, this isn't the kind of RPG where you can just coast by just smashing the attack button and healing occasionally. You will be punished, and you will learn. There are also party synergy attacks, which means your team composition matters. Characters can combo off each other in stylish over-the-top sequences. Think tag team finishers or synchronized spells with extra flair. It's less about brute force and more about timing, planning, and synergy. Now let's talk about the writing here, because that is one of the most important factors to these types of games, especially for me. And well, Expedition 33 is already showing promise. Conversations feel organic, characters interrupt each other, stumble and pause mid-sentences. They sound like real people, not just exposition dispensers. One standout moment is a scene between Gustav and Lune. They're debating their next move and they keep talking over each other. Not in a scripted way, but in a we've worked together too long and now we bicker like siblings kind of way. It adds realism and is emotionally grounding. You start to believe that these people actually have a history, that they trust each other, but not blindly. It gives their struggle actual weight. Nobody is here to fill a trope. Everyone feels uniquely written, dialogue is fast, believable, and emotionally loaded. You're not being waterboarded with monologues, you're watching people react to an impossible situation. Every conversation feels like it could be their last, which gives even the smallest bits of dialogue a subtle weight. Oh, and let's not forget the cast here. We have heavy hitters like Daredevil himself, Charlie Cox, playing Gustav. Jennifer English, our most beloved Shadowheart. She plays Mael. Lune is played by Kirsty Ryder. The characters Renoir and Verso are both played by Andy Serkis and Ben Starr respectively. So suffice it to say, the cast for this game is absolutely stacked. And this isn't even the full cast. Now, what I find most impressive about Expedition 33 so far is the size of their development team. Sandfall Interactive is a tiny studio, but you wouldn't really know it with how polished it feels. Really, this feels like a AAA title made by a, well, AAA team, but it's not. And I guess that really says it all about why I am personally so hyped about Expedition 33. It has so much quality mashed into it, and is made by such a small studio, meaning that we're seeing the rise of AA studios or indie studios that can make these types of games that we could never imagine smaller teams could before. And now I realize that I haven't talked too much about the combat and the technical small stuff with the RPG things in this game, but it's not just about the combat, it's not just about the visuals, it's the cohesiveness of everything. Every element so far is working towards the same goal. It's designed to make you feel like your time is running out, and everything you do in the game matters because of it. This could really be the next Last of Us in terms of emotional punch, the next Final Fantasy in terms of potential. But really, it's going to be something completely new. Something people reference when they talk about how RPGs and games overall can be art. To sum it all up, Expedition 33 is shaping up to be one of the most promising RPGs to date. It's weird, it's beautiful, it's punishing as all hell, but really, it's honest. And I personally cannot wait for it to emotionally destroy me. Expedition 33 drops on April the 24th, and it'll be available on PC, PlayStation 5, and Xbox Series X and S. But that's about it. Now don't forget to subscribe for all your future updates on RPGs and especially for Expedition 33. Have a great day everybody. Mr. Olten signing off.